Indochina, my love. Today, I'm super excited because I'm going to share with you two incredible movies that are set in colonial Indochina that have fascinated me for years. I'm going to talk today about The Lover and Indochine, Indochina, from both movies actually from 1992. I'm really interested in the colonial times, especially in colonial colonies in Asia. I used to live for many, many years in Hong Kong. And while living in Hong Kong, you can still you can still see like the remains of the colony. There's something about seeing a place, experiencing a place firsthand in real life, and then watch them on the screen. It's kind of a completely different perspective. Your horizons are widening, and that's why today I want to share with you those two films. Both films are set up in Indochina in very similar period of time at the beginning of the 20th century, but they show a completely different stories. One is a very personal story, very intimate, forbidden love, and the second one is more like this epic, showing not only the personal stories, but also heavily stress on the background, on the history, what's happening around our characters. Before we get to the films, let's just put like a little background about the Indochina. What was Indochina? So Indochina as a colony started to be set up by French in the 1850s. What was known as Indochina, colonized Indochina by French, is currently Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. Colonial system was built based on extraction of the goods, right, and the work power. So there were rubber plantations, rice, mining. In the society, the hierarchy was designed to benefit French people. At the top, there were French colonists. Then and there were elites, like a small circle of local elites, and there was the rest of the local people. What's fascinating by the two movies I'm going to talk about today is how they show the reality of those times back in the colonial Indochina. One is very, as I said, very personal, very intimate, and the other one is more political, more, epic, like an epic story. First, let's talk about The Lover from 1992. The film is based on a semi-autobiographical novel by Marguerite Duras, which won the prestigious French Prix Goncourt when it was published. The film, when it was released, it was quite a sensation. Mainly, I think, because of the scenes that they were presented there. They were like hot, intimate scenes. The film is set in 1929, as far as I remember, in nowadays Vietnam. Mainly, the plot is happening in Saigon and around. The story talks about a French 15-year-old girl. Family is poor and they're financially struggling, and a girl has an affair with a China man who is very, very rich. Their relationship, their love is very, very passionate, like steamy, hot, like literally. If you watch the film, you will know what I mean. That relationship back in the day crosses boundaries, right? Crosses boundaries of this set up by the imposed by the colony, class, or the social system, ethnicities, right? She's this white French girl, he is a Chinese man, right? And what is quite interesting and strikes in this film is how it shows the dynamic in the society, in this colonial French colonial society, where the power dynamics are inverted, right? Because here we have a French girl who is poor, and we have a Chinese man who is really, really rich. Challenges are expectations, right? Because usually we would think that a French girl should be the rich ones, and here she's the poor one, and the Chinese man is the rich one, right? So in this society who was set up, as I said, like, French at the top, then, local elites, and then the rest. Our young girl, who is played by Jane March, she meets a Chinaman, as she called him, while she's, on a ferry crossing Mekong River, while she's going from her hometown to Saigon to going back to her boarding school. Their initial attraction, follows them to this sexual relationship. As I said before, it's very intense, lots of passion and desire. And what is also fascinating is that they know that what they have, they cannot have, right? There's an expiry date. They know, because of the society, how the society is, set up all those rules, they can't be together. So this is just a limited time that they're together. And they don't say something like any promises. She always says like, you just, how could I be with somebody like you? It's impossible. He, at the same time, says like, yeah, it's impossible. That there's no way I could be with a French girl, because, my family, my father, would never allow it. I need to have like this arranged marriage. That is probably arranged since they were like little babies. So they all know that they cannot be together. So they have those moments, those times that they spend together. And it's, the passion, as I said, is there and is super hot. The way how the film is shot, cinematography, is quite stunning. You have those huge scenes of the Mekong River. You just feel, when you see them on that ferry crossing Mekong River, you just feel this heat, the atmosphere. And I remember feeling it actually when I was crossing Mekong River, when I was visiting Vietnam. So you've got also like the little snippets, how the life looked like, how the boarding school for the girls look like in Saigon, nightlife in Saigon back in the day. What I find most fascinating in The Lover, it's how they explore this hybrid. Because on one hand, we have a French girl, but born in the colony, right? She doesn't know France. She knows here, colony, where she was born and raised. And she's poor, but at the same time, she's privileged in a way because she's French. She's drawn to exotic, right? Is represented by this Chinaman, but at the same time, also Chinaman is also drawn to exotic, that he sees her exotic. I highly, highly recommend watching this film. And the film doesn't shy away from showing the scenes showing about the relationship. So just, I'm just telling you, it's very hot. But watch it, definitely watch it, and then see how you feel about the film. And the second film, Indochine, Indochina, from 1992 as well. This is a French film that won an Oscar. Yeah, won an Oscar. And we have a main character played by Catherine Deneuve, and as far as I remember, she was nominated to Oscar as the best actress, while The Lover focuses more on this personal, intimate experiences, relationship. In Indochina, we have a bigger perspective. There's more stress on what's happening around in the colonies, and it basically shows how the empire crumbles, and it covers like more years, right, from 1930s till 1954, when it was signed up. There was a conference in Geneva in Switzerland, when the Indochina, the colony, stopped of their existence. Film centers on Catherine Deneuve's character. She's a French woman born in the colonies. She inherited from her family a rubber plantation. She's very rich. She manages the plantations very well, very prosperous business. She never married, but she is an adoptive mother to Camille. Camille is a young Vietnamese girl who belongs to aristocratic Vietnamese Nguyen dynasty family, and she was orphaned. And Catherine Deneuve's character was a friend of her parents and promised them to, to take, if anything happened to them, she would take care of Camille, and that's what's happening. Yes, there's a setup, alive in the colony, prosperous woman with her business, and here comes a love triangle, obviously, right? Because there needs to be drama. Catherine Deneuve's character, I think her name is Eliane, begins an affair with a very young Lieutenant Jean-Baptiste. Later on, Camille is like a teenager, and by chance she meets Lieutenant Jean-Baptiste, and she falls in love with him. He falls in love with her as well, and yes, obviously we have a very uncomfortable situation. Also, Camille, she's engaged to her like a childhood friend, her parents when they were still alive, and his parents, they arranged their marriage when they were still babies. But now we have got new love of Camille, Lieutenant Jean-Baptiste, and as you might think, Eliane is not really happy, and she does not approve. Then this personal drama, right, starts to be entangled with like a broader drama, with the politics, with what's happening. Me joins nationalist movement, and a lot of things are, happening. She runs away from home. What makes Indochina very fascinating is that they use this Eliane and Camille relationship, this mother-daughter relationship, that is like a French-Vietnamese relationship, and they use it like a symbol of what's actually happening in Indochina, right? That Eliane is this mother figure, French, yeah, and Camille, Vietnamese young daughter, and she wants to do everything in her way, right? Her way. I don't want to be protected by you. I want to go and follow the cause. So kind of it's like a symbol of representation, what's going on, what's happening in the real world. Film is visually stunning. It shows the natural beauty of Vietnam. I can tell you firsthand, Vietnam is gorgeous, and if you have a chance, please go and visit. The film finishes in 1954, when there's a conference in Geneva, and it is decided, as I said before, that French rule over Indochina is done. It's finished. If you want to have like everything in one package, like if you want to have like an epic story, If you want to have love, drama, unfulfilled love, mother-daughter, relationship, and then lots of political, historical things, background going on, and as I said, epic, all in one package. Definitely watch Indochina, and I'm sure you will learn a lot, because I think many of us don't know much about that period of time, because I feel like most of the time films, if there are some film, they focus more on the Vietnam War, the Vietnam War from the 60s, 70s. So I think it's good to watch what happened before, because the Vietnam War happened because of, right? So you would definitely understand more, and you widen your horizons. And at the same time, it's amazing story, just amazing story. Summarize those two films. Both are fascinating. Both have interesting stories. The Lover is more intimate. It's more personal, right? It's more about those between those two people, and then we have the background, the society, and what they can or cannot do. They wouldn't do. So everything is very like personal, and it's like has like this psychological dynamic, right? Indochina, Indochine is more epic and historical, that shows like personal dramas, people dramas, but takes it on a bigger picture. As I said, more epic, more historical, all these political movements, what's happening, changes in the society. So it shows you a bigger picture, and personal drama is like a top up, right? Top up on this. I appreciate about those two films is that they don't simplify the colony aspect, right? Both movies acknowledge the beauty and the brutality of this historical period. Hence, if you haven't watched them and if you're interested in that period of time or in that region, right, the history of that region, or you want to have an amazing, want to watch an amazing, passionate love story, watch both of those films. You will not regret it. I hope more films, TV series, maybe they would be created talking about that region and that period of time. If you haven't seen The Lover and Indochine, please watch it. Both of those movies, they complement each other perfectly, and they give us this rich understanding of this fascinating historical period, in time. As always, thank you for watching. I'm really happy that you're here, and see you next time.